no matter how great your grammar skills are, no matter how extensive and intensive your vocabulary mastery are, you still need clear pronunciation, understandable pronunciation. Hi, Malihan. Understandable pronunciation. So, for example, that you recognize yourself, or let's say that people acknowledge that you are great at grammar, that you have tremendously extensive vocabulary mastery, but if you have terrible performances in pronouncing words, phrases, not to mention enunciating the words, people will think that they will find that you perform your pronunciation, you rendered your pronunciation repulsively. Repulsively means terribly. So what is pronunciation anyway? So pronunciation, so it's kind of tricky to define pronunciation, since that there are a lot of people here, especially teachers, they try to make their students speak like native speakers, but did you happen to know the real standard of pronunciation? Which pronunciation, which pronunciation you would love to follow and you need to follow? Which one you want to follow, whether or not you want to follow the British pronunciation or American pronunciation. Then in the American itself, right, in the American pronunciation itself, American pronunciation has a variety of other pronunciation you have probably inflicted and ruined, distorted, and also mixed up with some accents from various states. So here that we don't have the ideal goal of which pronunciation to follow, right? So which pronunciation, the standard one, right? Do all of them speak the standard pronunciation? So that is why. So let me define what pronunciation is. So pronunciation is a noun. Okay, pronunciation is a noun. The verb, is pronounce, not pronunciate. Okay, remember the verb of pronunciation is pronounce, not pronunciate. Okay, the noun of pronounce is pronunciation, not pronunciation. Pronunciation, 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 pronounce, pronunciation or pronunciation. That's the noun. The verb is pronounce. The verb is pronounce. I am not interested in talking about accents. I'd like to talk about something that is more important than accent itself and the accent itself. So let's define what pronunciation. Would you like to type your definition of the word pronunciation? So do you think pronunciation is a term or is a word, is a terminology spoken by a certain number of people, or pronunciation is only a word? So pronunciation is actually a term. So when we are talking about pronunciation, it's kind of hard for us to separate ourselves from what is the so-called phonetics. But let's define pronunciation first. So pronunciation is the act, of producing the sounds of speech. Including articulation, stress, intonation, often with the reference to some standard of correctness or acceptability. So here we are trying to question, what do you mean, what do you mean, teacher, and what do you mean, Uncle Ann, by acceptable pronunciation or received pronunciation? So pronunciation is the noun that we have to pronounce more accurately, right? When you want to have accurate pronunciation, we are not talking about fluent English. We are not talking about speedy, rapid English. We are talking about accurate English, right? So the point is that you don't need to speak English as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, like you are racing with your destiny. No, you don't need to do that, right? So accurate pronunciation is probably or most likely to be achieved by trying first to slow down your speed habit, right? The way you render the sounds, the way you articulate the sound. So, right. So, and also pronunciation is also defined as an accepted standard of the sounds, okay? Of the sound and the stirs and the stress pattern, okay? Of the stress pattern, word and phrase. Okay. Let me ask you, what are the differences between stress between word and phrase? Word and phrase. Because pronouncing words, okay, and phrase, all right, will need a different, what you call that one, strategy. Right. So what is the difference between word and phrase? Word and phrase. Because pronunciation is I mean, probably can be defined as a way of pronouncing words and phrase and sentences. Words, phrases, and sentences. So did you happen to know by definitions? Many words. What do you mean, many words? So what is the difference between phrase and sentence? For example, I give you an example. A beautiful book, okay? Beautiful book with a fancy cover. Beautiful book with a fancy cover on the table. Is that a phrase or a word? A book with a fancy cover on the table. Right. Word or phrase? What do you think? Word or phrase? Phrase or sentence. Why not sentence? It's long, right? Does anything long need to be sentence? Need to be a sentence? A book with fancy cover on the table. A book with a fancy cover on the table is a phrase, right? So what makes phrase and a sentence different is that the use of helping verb, okay? The use of the helping verb, the use of the verb, the use of the overarching verb. If you insert a verb into that phrase, a book, for example, okay, is put on the table, right? The book with a beautiful cover or fancy cover is put or is placed on the table and it becomes a sentence. Why? Because there is a verb in the sentence, right? Oh, what's going on with this? The mirror. Right. So a book with a fancy cover, with the fancy cover, is put on the table. Then it becomes a sentence. Right. So your manner of articulating words, okay, words will be different from yours in articulating phrases, not to mention sentences. Why, teacher? In the pronunciation of words, okay, you are only required to be able to recognize Hasif Ali. Okay, in pronouncing words, okay, in pronouncing single word, individual word, you're only required to be able, let's say, to stress, okay, to identify which stress in the syllable, which stress in the word should receive the tonic syllable, the stress syllable. Which one is the stress syllable? But in a phrase in English, you need to find out the core words. Okay, the core words as well as in the sentences. Okay, what are the core words? Okay, in those phrases and sentences. Then what are you going to do with the core words, teacher? What you are going to do with the core words, you're going to be giving it, giving them a punch. Okay, you need to punch them. So we call it stress patterns, pitch variance, and that's pronunciation. It's not a piece of cake. Teaching pronunciation requires some spatial training. Okay, the best tuition, the best instruction must be carried out by those who were born with this language. Do you sometimes wish if you were a girl, because the female teachers on the Hello have crowd on the live stream every time they are live? No, Teacher Asif Ali. Why? It's okay. Like, right. What does that mean? Right, it's okay. Right. I appreciate your pronunciation is good, teacher. I'm not trying to sound like a native speaker. I'm just trying to sound as natural as possible. Because if you are trying so hard to sound like a native speaker, but definitely you have passed the periods, your critical periods, then you are trying so hard, you insist and persist on trying so hard to sound like a native speaker, they will find you sounding, we will find you, not they, okay? We will find you sounding so unnatural, irritating, and repulsive. Right? So the point is that, I mean, you don't need to sound like a native speaker if you cannot, don't try to sound so hard to sound like a native speaker. Try to articulate your words without sounding that you are trying so hard. That, for example, I have a last stream and I had only 30 participants, while on my neighbor's live stream there were 80, though she wasn't teaching anything, just talking. Asif Ali! What are you talking about? It was a word from the heart. Yes, teacher Asif Ali, the thing that you need to know that probably if they are hungering for knowledge, they will come to your live stream, teacher Asif Ali. Don't worry about that. I believe that those 26 viewers, they really want to study, okay? They really want to learn something from us. Why, Teacher Asif Ali? I'm really sad for that. Right, so you should not take it personally, though. People try to read this comment. I had a live stream yesterday, and I had only 30 participants, while on my neighbor. Yes, it is. I don't even care, Teacher Asif Ali. I just try to, what you call that one? I just try to instruct my lesson. Whenever I have time, I go live. But sadly, people are not hungry for knowledge, but beauty. Oh, Teacher Asif. I'm not beautiful, Teacher Asif Ali. I'm not beautiful, so I will not be mostly watched. Mostly watch. Right, so probably Teacher Asif Ali. So that is why I try to dedicate my live streams to those who are hungering for knowledge, those who would like to teach English in the future, because I also train teachers in Indonesia. I train non-native English teachers to teach English. I mean that they are preparing themselves. They are preparing themselves to be teachers in the future. So then I can help them with the preparation, though. So I try to add some more, some values in terms of principles and theories of English language teaching, and also they will be facing some micro teaching activities. So yes. Neither am I. So, Teacher Asif Ali, we can talk about that later, though. But don't be sad, my friend, Teacher Asif Ali. So, everyone here, try to listen to Teacher Asif Ali. Teacher Asif Ali is an experienced teacher, okay, who has super duper enormous exposure to English language learning in real context. Right, count on him, right? So I told everybody here, yeah, probably you should count on Teacher Asif Ali and some other great teachers before they leave. Subscribe before they leave. Right. But I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I don't even care. So I just instruct my lesson. I just give a lecture for free. So yeah, so that is why. So if I go live every single, yeah, let's say like 3 times a day, I will be losing my real classes in real life. Right. See, also, right. Right. So we are here to help, yeah, teacher Asif Ali. Don't worry about that. And also, let's try to define a pronunciation. The first one, pronunciation is the act or manner of producing the sounds of speech, right? Including the articulation, the enunciation, right? Of stress. You're a qualified teacher. I like your teaching style. Says, I don't know whether I'm qualified or not. I tried to be qualified enough. If I don't have enough knowledge, I'd better. I didn't even care how many viewers there were. I didn't leave the tempo and executed my topic and class enthusiastically. Yes, teacher Asif Ali. This is really important that everyone should take into account and take notes upon. Okay, and take notes upon is that if you are not willing to learn or study hard, impossible for you to be great speakers of English. For example, some people, they are coming only for entertainment. I told them that we are not comedians. If they have they have our laughs, that's only a bonus. But the thing, can you speak so? Okay, the thing that we should take into account that we need to be here to help people, teacher Asif Ali. So we should not care. We should never care. We shall never care about such a thing. Okay, so that is why, right? And also, I'm not beautiful as well, teacher Asif Ali. I'm a man, and I'm a normal man. Yes. Oh yeah, Samira, you're skipping. Try to comment, Samira. So I'm really sorry for skipping some comments, but please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm not a perfect teacher who can really look at every single comment. Okay, this is the solution. Whenever you comment and I seem to have skipped my comments. Okay, where was only oh. Teacher Asif Ali, I'm not going to teach. I'm going to listen to your heart. Yes, but what did you mean, teacher? So what do you think, teacher Asif Ali? So should I teach a lesson here, or should I gossip as well? Oh my God, teacher Asif Ali. So right, okay, gone. So what else? Okay, what else? So pronunciation can also be defined as the conventional patterns. Okay, would you like to jot down? Because I'm giving you a free lecture. Yeah, you cannot have a free lecture in my real life teaching, right? So the conventional patterns of treatment of the sounds of a language. Okay, one thing that you should take into account. We were not born with this language. We were not born a native speaker. Okay, we were not born great at English. So we need to, we need to put more effort into our English learning. If we don't do that, it's kind of hard for us to reach the accurate pronunciation level. So you should need to, Chit Chatter have more viewers than subscribers. Life isn't fair. Oh, Samira! Samira is also talking about something here. Yes, yeah, Actually, Samira and teacher Asif Ali, definitely I don't really care. I mean, I don't really care about, I mean, whatever people are instructing or teaching or whatever. Yeah, I mean, what I only care is that whenever I go live, I try to share something, okay? Something with my students because I'm here as a teacher, right? Even though I'm Uncle Ant, I'm not teacher Ant. Even though I'm Uncle Andre, I'm not a teacher Andre, but definitely, officially I'm a teacher. Okay, I'm officially a teacher. I'm an official teacher on this app though. So I just try to do my best and give my best, and I try to teach in accordance, in regards, with reference to my specialization. Okay, to my specialization. Right, so the third definition of pronunciation. Okay, pronunciation is the conventional pattern of treatment of the sounds of a language. So I need to remind that we were not born, okay, as a native English speaker. So we need to, or we have to put more effort, okay, into our English learning, into our English language learning. So if you're not really serious learners of English, trust me, in the next 5 years or in the next 3 years of using this app, I will still find the same you. Yeah, I will see, right. Do you see what I mean? I'm still young and I'm still eager to learn. And probably this year I'm going to be pursuing my PhD. Right. Here you have lots of, what you call that one? You have lots of opportunity and chances to learn from great teachers, like Asif Ali. So go, please, teacher Asif Ali. I do want you to be more active and also to be more frequent on this Hello. So you can collaborate with me whenever you want. Just message me. Don't be sad, my friend. I'm into you. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I really appreciate you. So don't worry about that. Life will treat you kind. Trust me. Life will treat you kind. So this is probably the principle of English language teaching that we learn, right? We studied in our department. There is one class named English, the principles of English language teaching, in which we learn some basics of English learning and instruction. I would love to meet you one day, inshallah, someday. I try to pursue my PhD in either Australia or UK. So probably, teacher Asif Ali, if I get accepted in one of universities in your country, probably we are potential to meet each other. We make a serious rendezvous. We make a serious rendezvous. So okay, the fourth definition. Okay, take note. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an A or a B for your score. Okay, take notes. The fourth definition of pronunciation, because this is an introduction or a general interview to teaching pronunciation. So you should take note. Okay, pronunciation is also defined as a phonetic transcription of a given word or sound and sound and so forth. What is phonetic, teacher? When you are talking about phonetics, we are going to talk about symbols. I have noticed and have been beholding some teachers on Hello teaching phonetics. Okay, teaching phonetics. Mostly in practice. Those are really great classes for sure. Those are really great classes for sure. So I really want you to attend those classes because phonetics, okay, can never be separated from pronunciation because phonetics is part of pronunciation. We're going to be talking about phonetics and phonology probably in my next courses if I'm still on Hello. In my next classes, yeah, we are trying to take our what do you call that one? We're trying to learn something difficult, because if you are used to easy things that you are just going to review and review present tense versus perfect tense, past tense versus present tense, like you are stepping on the same ground over and over. Right, so yeah, we are trying to take our learning, our English language learning, in a whole different level. Okay, teacher, I gotta go. Please give a shout out for my live stream today. Give a shout out for evening. Oh, students can see my schedule.